I'm Lowell Martin, and this is MCC Today. Jazz hands! On today's show, we have Morgan Boothe, Kim Rush, and Ginger Crawford. You're not going to want to miss this. You'll learn a lot.
Meridian Community College. For more than 75 years, we've helped students soar. Establishing the first tuition guarantee program in Mississippi, we put our students first, while creating pathways into the workforce and offering a seamless transition to a 4-year degree. Now is the time to find your purpose and register today, because those who move forward never get left behind. MCC, find your wings.
And we have the wonderful Miss Morgan Boothe here today. And Morgan, you are a language and literature instructor here at MCC. And you've been here how long?
21 years. I'm finishing year 21.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
A minute.
I literally remember when you first got here and our offices were next door to each other and we used to have the best time.
Oh yes. Yes, I always tell everybody you were like my first friend that I made here.
And there were lots of M&Ms eaten, lots of cake, and not that I regret it, but...
A few pounds gained.
But I wanted you on today to talk about some of the literature classes that we're taking and some of the other stuff that you're doing. But now, do you teach, which literature classes do you teach the most of, do you think?
American Lit 2.
Okay.
That's my primary literature course. And of course I teach the comps, but American Lit 2 is the one that I teach.
Okay, so you teach Comp 1, Comp 2, and American Lit 2.
Yes.
Primarily, but now, and I know this is very basic, but what do you think is the basic difference between, first off, Comp 1 and Comp 2, and then Comp 2 and literature?
The basic difference in Comp 1 and Comp 2 is the level of writing is amped pretty way up. You know, in Comp 1, they're allowed to write about their own experiences out of their own head is what I tell them. You can tell me your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions. In Comp 2, then they have to read literature and then write about that literature. Right. So, and then of course they have to put quotes in every single essay in Comp 2, and they have to do works cited for every single essay. That makes it more difficult than just your standard 5-paragraph essay and managing the grammar.
But so Comp 1 is there. It's more you're asking questions about themselves and how, you know, and we're looking at grammar, punctuation, all of that, subject verb agreement, content,
format of the essay.
How many writings do they typically turn in Comp 1?
4.
They turn in 4 writings.
Yes, they do 4 essays plus a research paper. That's included in the 4.
Now with Comp 2, though, you get into short stories, poetry, plays.
Occasionally an essay, every once in a while if you run across one that you feel is particularly would resonate. But
and then they have to look at it and form opinions or defend something or
analyze it
in some way. So it's slightly different. And then you go from, now to take literature classes, you must have completed Comp 1 and Comp 2. You can't just go directly into a lit. So when you get into literature, say American Lit 2, what do you do?
Well, we read lots of good literature. As I always tell my students in American Lit 2, this is where you get to watch the country that we know take shape. You know, I tell them the first day, if you were to pick us all up and drop us into Jamestown and the Mayflower, that's not... No. That's a long way away from where we are. But in American Lit 2, we get the women's movement, we get the civil rights movement, we get the World War I and World War II literature, we get the Vietnam War literature, we get literature around 9/11. So it's the country that even if, as I tell them, even if you weren't born during the civil rights movement, your parents and your grandparents, they were alive then. This is close to your personal history. And so we read lots of good literature.
I was going to ask if you started around 1960, but you said you include World War I and II in that. So around what time? What's the time period?
Around 1876. Right, it's right after the end of the Civil War. So we pick up with Reconstruction literature.
Oh my gosh, lots of good literature.
Yes, lots of good literature.
Why do you think it is important for students to take literature classes?
Oh goodness. It opens them up to just a world of ideas that if if they're just limited to, again, their time period that they have lived, and they don't look at what came before, then they can't really appreciate how far America has come.
And I know students who've come to me and about something that they had to read, and they're like, I don't understand why we're reading this. And I said, because we want you to understand what it was like then. You know, this is not, it's not like we're promoting a viewpoint or anything like that. It's like we want you to grasp what things were like right then and the changes that were coming right then.
Right
you know?
then.
And it's absolutely amazing. And so many programs require students to have not only Comp 1 and Comp 2, but at least one literature. And sometimes two.
Yes, depending on your major.
And a lot of times if they're going to university transfer, they you know, literature is never going to hurt them.
Right.
You know, now you're the American Lit 2. I'm more of the World Lit 1 and 2 that I love to teach. I haven't done it in a while, but students don't like writing papers.
No, they don't.
And how can we convince them of the importance of writing papers and being able to write well?
I think it starts with getting them interested in what they are going to write about. So that means that if you give them something that's old, if you're really, really old, or something that does not resonate with them, you know, language that they don't understand, if you make it, you got to sell it first. Otherwise, they shut down before they really even get past the first page.
Sure.
And so it's got to be something that, and even in my more difficult pieces of literature that I know they're not going to understand, the class period before, I say, okay, this is what you're about to read. You're going to have a language you don't get. It's going to be old, especially like in Comp 2. You're going to get language that's different. Let me tell you a little bit of the backstory. You got to hook them. You got to sell it
And,
so that they'll read it.
But we still have students who fundamentally don't like to read.
No, they don't.
Is there a solution to this? What do you think it is?
I don't know if there's a solution. I think about my own child, and you know, I think today with so many technology options, opening a book is to them outdated.
I think we promote the short attention spans too, because you can't stick with something long enough to finish it.
Right.
Unfortunately, and my kids were this. You know, we're exactly the same. They see me reading constantly. I love to do it. None of them
like to read.
None of them like to read. Now, in addition to literature, you're also a co-advisor for the honors program we have here.
Yes.
What is the honors program?
The Honors College, the Phil Hardin Foundation Honors College, is just a place for our higher performing students. We offer them enrichment. We do a little travel when there's not a pandemic. Even with the pandemic, we've done local travel.
Sure.
We've done some local museums and things. You know, we ask them to sort of go above and beyond. They take a leadership class. They take an honors forum class where we just work on
Some very good speakers coming and talking to them about very current issues.
Yes, we do that. We do, like right now we're in an interview unit where they're having to interview their own classmates so that they will learn how to conduct an interview. Then the roles will reverse and they will then be interviewed.
Oh my.
And have to see how they do there. So just lots of different things with them.
How are you now? You've been co-advisor for 2 years now?
Just one.
Just 1 year now.
Yes, over the summer is when the job landed in my lap.
Was it what you expected?
No, no, but it's been rewarding.
Sure.
I've enjoyed it. It's not when I say it's not what I expected. That's not in a negative way. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the challenge.
Well, listen, thank you for being on the show today, and I want to have you back, and we've got to get these kids reading.
Yes, we do. We do. Any suggestions,
so
send them on.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be right back.
Not essential. Never let anyone tell you that again. Never doubt your abilities to make a difference. How do I know this about you? Because I'm a teacher. I am the one who will push you harder and farther than you could have ever imagined. Teach you things that you never thought possible. And if you will give me 100%, then I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, and together we will change your future. MCC, find your wings.
We have the wonderful Miss Kim Rush here today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here again.
Yes.
Now, you are MCC's Director of Advising and Retention.
Correct.
And we got some interesting things happening really soon here.
Yes, we do. Starting March 15th, our second intensive online classes begin.
Okay.
They're March 15th until May 7th. And so they're 8-week classes. It is a great opportunity for our students to be able to get some classes taken care of the second intensive if they weren't able to register, for the full term classes or the first intensive classes, which we have one more opportunity in the spring semester to get some classes taken care of.
Now, what kind of classes are you offering for this time during this time period?
I wrote a list just in case I wouldn't forget.
That's great.
We have AMP 1 and 2, the lecture and the lab.
So you can have it 1 and 2 in this last 8-week
Well, you
session.
can get either one because, of course, they precede each other.
Right.
So you must complete AMP 1, lecture and lab with a C or better to take AMP 2, lecture and lab.
Okay.
We have accounting 2, which you have to have had accounting 1 to be able to get that. We have human growth and development. Any student can take that class. We have nutrition. We have several histories available, statistics as well, econ available, and Comp 2 available. And a lot more classes, but those are the ones that come to my mind.
Okay, excellent. Now, are these hybrid classes or are they online classes?
They're fully online classes.
They're fully online classes.
They're fully online classes. Students will be able to log on to their EagleNet account, get onto Canvas, and their assignments will be posted there weekly.
Okay, because that's what, that's good to know, because I was thinking, how would we do the hybrid?
Yeah.
but now, we also have and I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but we also have a 4-week session starting on March 14th. A new 4 weeks, because I'm teaching one of those classes.
Yes. Tell me about it.
No, because I'm teaching a college study skills class beginning on the 15th. I've got 2 back-to-back, 4 weeks each time.
Fun times.
Yeah, it's fine. I thoroughly enjoy the class, and I thoroughly enjoy being able to help the students as much as possible. But now, if someone is interested in taking these classes, what do they need to do?
So the first step, if they are not an MCC student, they'll need to apply. meridiancc.edu, in the top right corner, click apply.
Okay.
Once they have applied and gotten approved through admissions, and then they can email advising@meridiancc.edu, and I could definitely put them in contact with their advisor and make sure they're registered for classes.
Okay.
They do have time. Students always ask, it's February, 23rd, 24th. Do I have time to get them classes? Yes, you do. Our admissions on team, they work very quick to turn over transcripts, turn over information, turn over the reports, and so that we definitely can get you ready for classes before spring break.
Excellent. Now, typically speaking, if someone is not registered, what is the time frame to be able to for them to be able to get into a class? Is it like a couple of days?
It
a
is
week,
actually.
I know we've got things very.
So if a student actually applies today, it's Thursday, we should be able to Monday put you in classes.
Excellent.
Which is pretty awesome.
It is very awesome.
Definitely.
Now, is this just for? I hate to say regular students, but are any of these dual enrollment classes as well? Do you know that?
Very few dual enrollment options. We'll definitely have to get in contact with Ms. Desi about that.
Okay.
But we do have options, definitely so.
Okay, so if anyone who's listening, we have a lot of classes that we're offering beginning March 15th.
Yes.
They need to come in. They need to register immediately. They'll get with an advisor. They can tell, and I know on our website we'll have a list of the classes that are available.
Correct.
And so they can get on and say, I want to take this class.
Definitely.
Or, I'm eager to be in A&P 1 in the lab.
Eager. And so the most important thing, if they have a question, comment, or concern, just knowing where they stand in the admissions process, they can email advising@meridiancc.edu, or if they're in the admissions process, they can also email admissions@meridiancc.edu.
I find it so interesting, and I'm so proud of MCC in that we always offer so many options to the student per semester.
Yes.
It's not just because when I came here, this is when you went.
Yes.
You had no choice in this. This is it.
Correct.
You could go Tuesday, Thursday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or at night.
Yes.
No other.
And either January.
Yes.
What, January, June, and August.
Yes.
That was pretty much it. Exactly.
And now you can literally start in the middle of a semester and still be full-time if you wanted to, or you can take the 4-week options, the 8-week options, the hybrid options. Oh my goodness.
Lots and lots of options. That's really what's best for our students these days. And also a lot of students, who work, who have families, whatever their situation is, they're able to look at their situation at home, with work, with kids, with life, and be able to decide what's my best option to get these classes taken care of as quickly as possible, and of course being able to get a good grade.
Do you think, and this is just a way off the wall question, and I apologize for it in advance, but do you think we're getting away from like a typical semester type?
I think so.
thing?
I think it's a good thing.
I'm not against it. I'm just
yes.
saying, do you see that kind of
Yes,
coming?
I do.
That it's not where we don't have the three semesters.
Correct.
That we are just gonna. These are when these classes are offered.
Correct. And I think we're getting kind of away from that now. Of course we have spring semester, but spring semester has 10, 12, 15 different options within spring semester.
Yes.
And then the fall semester and the summer semester as well. And I think the reason why is because our students have to be very flexible, and we have to meet those needs.
We do.
If it's best for them to do a second intensive, a 4-week class, even a 3-week class, in May semester we have 3-week options, and we have to meet the needs of our students. And whatever that is,
And
we have to be able to do it.
The holiday class.
Correct.
I taught that.
Correct.
in
Over wintermester is what it's called.
Wintermester, yes, and they used to call it Merrymester.
Yeah, Merrymester.
Merrymester.
That's it.
But I'm just very proud that we've stepped up.
Yes.
Now another question, and again, putting you on the spot here, but how do you think COVID has affected how we give classes? How we, and I know, but there has been a major effect.
Oh, correct.
And there's some things that we will return to, but I think sometimes it's been a good thing.
And I think the most important thing is being flexible, because even if a student traditionally was in a campus class, the traditional way of being in a campus class, being able to sit in a lecture, well, at any point in time, that class may move to being hybrid. That class may move to being all online. And so I think it has helped us because we're able to see that, yes, students can learn. We have to adapt the way that we teach, the way that we instruct, to be able to help our students to be able to, of course, continue to meet their career goals of graduating, leading into a career tech program, and being able to move into the workforce.
Well, listen, I want to thank you for being here today.
We're done?
And we are done, but we're going to have you back because we have other options coming up that we're going to talk about.
Options.
There you go.
Definitely.
But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Since 1996, the MCC Foundation Tuition Guarantee Program has provided students an opportunity to find their potential. Thousands of students have benefited from the program. Over $6 million have been invested in the students who learn and live right here in our community. This program is funded by individuals and businesses who believe in our students, our families, and the economic impact of an education at Meridian Community College. Now is your chance to offer support. Give today at meridiancc.edu/give.
We have Miss Ginger Crawford here today. Now, Ginger, you are the Evening Services Coordinator for Meridian Community College, and one of the few people on campus who I think has been here longer than I have.
Longer than most.
Longer than most. Now, you've been here a number of years. And I remember years ago, I'd have I'd be teaching night classes, and I'd always come by and we'd always sit and talk and have the best time for, before class. How's everything going?
Good. It's good.
Now, what does an Evening Services Coordinator do? Because you've been doing it a number of years now.
I have.
So you got this job down pat.
Yes. I am actually an advisor for, technically a university transfer advisor, a non-degree student wanting to take ceramics or something. But working in the evening, I am also knowledgeable about all of our programs.
Okay. You have to be.
Yes.
Okay.
And granted, sometimes a student might want to go into nursing, and I know the courses they would need to get to that point, but still I advise them to talk to the nursing advisor at some point.
Okay.
Because there's certain ways to get into certain programs.
Okay. So, if someone is interested in coming here, they don't have to just come during the day to see an advisor. They can come in the evenings. And what time are you typically here?
Well, at MCC Advising, we're available between 8 and 8, Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
And 8 to 3:30 on Fridays.
Okay. So 8 in the morning till 8 in the evening, Monday through Thursday, 8 to 3:30 on Friday.
Yes, there's an advisor here
Present.
between those hours. I happen to be the only one that is there between 2 and 8.
Okay, because I know, because I have been by and I've seen you, you pretty much do it all.
Well,
because, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's just that if someone comes in, you're able to help them with all of it. Okay.
And before I got into this position, I'd actually was kind of the one-stop shop for students to come in and do admissions and advising and get registered for, just a class or something.
Sure.
But yes, then, going full-time into advising and taking on this position, which includes more than advising, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But if I don't know the answer to something, I can find an answer for someone.
Yes.
We want to try to get them through the process as quickly as possible.
And I know that because you have been my go-to many times. If I did not know something, I'd be like, okay, let's call Ginger.
Yes, and then I would call someone else. And I've got a student with me right now. Let me call you right back. And I call someone else. Hey, can you tell me an answer?
Now, so you said in addition to advising, you do other things, such as, if you don't mind me asking.
I am a go-between for our evening instructors.
Okay.
We have professionals in the community who come in graciously.
But they're not full-time.
Not full-time, adjunct, they call them. Part-time is what I call them. But yes, and we have instructors from all types of professions that come in and do that. Not so much right now because of the COVID issue and our.
That was going to be my next question. How has COVID affected us and what you do in the evenings?
Typically at night we offer academic courses mostly.
We do.
There are just one or two programs you can complete at night that are technical training programs. I'm sure you've had Ms. Nettles on here before talking about truck driver training maybe. But typically it's your academics, Englishes, histories, algebras, things like that. But we also have real estate 1 and 2 to Bob Pickford, Terry Winstead, in our community come in and teach those classes fall or spring.
We have a large number of art classes too, that are offered in the evening, don't we? I believe, or we did.
We did, but COVID has affected not only the night schedule, which was usually a small schedule, because you go one night a week. We only have 4, nights. But our day schedule, we adjusted our schedule and made some classes take different numbers of students and aren't offering quite as many. I mean, come on, Comp 1, I think there was a time we had maybe 20 different times that you could take it.
Yes.
So I guess we kind of cut that in half. So it has affected our scheduling, but hopefully in the fall things will get back closer to normal.
I hope so, and I'm looking forward to it. But so if someone is interested in getting in touch with you about some questions, so maybe they need to come by the evening. Do you prefer do people? Is it okay for them to just stop by? Should they call first? Should they email you first? What would be best?
They can call me and tell me a certain time they'd like to come by.
Okay.
I'm typically at my desk between 2 and 8, Monday through Thursday.
Okay. What's your phone number?
It's 601-484-8862 is my direct number.
Okay.
Our evening switchboard is open until 6:15.
Okay.
So if
So
they
they
forget
can call
that,
and just
they
say
can just call
Ginger
MCC.
Crawford. Okay.
And but I'm here until 8 for advising. I'm actually here later. I'm here until the instructors are gone.
I've actually come by after class sometimes at night, and you were still there. Now, so if someone wants to email you, what is your email address?
It's gcrawfor@meridiancc.edu. So there's not a D on the end.
Okay. So if they come in and they've done nothing, you can pretty much take them through the whole process of becoming a student here at MCC, setting them up with classes.
Yes.
So even if it's not just nighttime classes that they would be taking, you can get them ready for online or day classes or just out of curiosity. I'm just asking this out of curiosity. I'm putting you on the spot here, but from when you first started, how has advising and what you have done changed? Or what you are doing?
Procedures, processes, things of that nature have changed.
Okay.
Offices, people have changed.
Yeah.
But I think one thing that has always been the same is the notion of not making a guess as to what someone can achieve or not achieve.
Because you're very good at, you make sure to talk to whoever comes into your office. You make sure to understand what they want, you know, and you've always done that.
The key is to just give them pathways to try to do what.
So the connection is still there. It's just procedures and things have changed.
Yes, I mean, advising is always the same. It involves listening. It involves, you know, just helping a student reach their goals.
Okay, I'm so glad you're my friend, and I'm so glad that we have been working here together. Listen, I want to have you on the show again. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
With so much uncertainty in our world, we are thankful for the heart and determination of those who have followed their calling in healthcare. They work tirelessly on the front lines every day to make a true difference in our community. At Meridian Community College, we take pride in training these heroes and are grateful for their service in this time of great need. These Eagles found their wings at Meridian Community College.
On behalf of Matt Milner, Executive Producer, Josh Taylor, Media Specialist, and our student producers, Trey Skandrick and Tanya Jenkins, thank you for watching. We hope you learned a little bit, and see you next time.